Hello, everybody. Welcome to Not Daily Dose of Gaming News and all that good stuff. And as always, I also publish on Rumble and on Patreon for extra support and any kind of updates. I usually go about on the Twitter X platform. Last Saturday, I didn't manage to do the news program and not even did the Midnight Suns episode publishing there also. I was out all day, so I only arrived way late at night, and again, I couldn't do anything about it. Again, uh, work reunions and all that stuff. So um, yeah, and then of course yesterday was my day off, so I don't do anything or avoid doing anything on YouTube. But yeah, we are here. Today is Monday. A little bit of slow day on the news side, but later today we'll get another Midnight Suns episode. And again, it will be five, no, 6 episodes. So Monday through Saturday. I always try to maintain this schedule here. And yeah, regarding any kind of live streams, again, it's been Eptic. I don't know what to tell you. It's been a little bit of normal scheduling that usually around this year is, but it means it's good. But again, for the channel, I don't have that much time to focus on the live stream part at this moment in time. But as soon as things change around a little bit, I will try to get at least, I don't know, 1 day per week, trying to focus my work scheduling around this, and 1 day per week maybe. I will have to check that. But yeah, let's go to the news. We got again, seems to be having a little bit of stream of news, or news in the sense that like rumors, leaks, and the such regarding the new RDNA 4, upcoming RDNA 4 GPU stuff from AMD. Now we got some shipping manifestos after some data mining. And in this case, for Navi 44 XL, usually, from what I understand, XL tends to be like the cut down version of the chip itself. In this case, more recent case is the 7600 XT and non-XT graphic cards, which use the Navi 33 XT and XL respectively. So the 7600 non-XT, it's basically the cut down version, so the XL part of the chip there. Um, while again, it's a little bit, I assume it's mainly because of yield stuff there. But yeah, we are seeing some shipping manifesto. Again, I will assume this is for AIBs, given that this is got different. It's the same date, but it's again for different. I will assume it's different AIBs. At least that's my assumption here. Again, I will try not to delve too much more that we already did, because again, it's not reliable in the sense it is not confirmed by AMD itself. So everything is speculation to this point in time. Again, the 44 chip might be used for the what we can assume the 8600 XT and non-XT variants, or roundabouts there, given that the Navi 48 should be for the 8800 XT and the 8700 XT, kind of in line with the launch of RDNA 1 at the time in terms of naming scheme, and kind of targets in terms of performance, relatively, at least with the competition. Again, because they cut down the Navi 41, which supposedly were supposed to be the top end. If not mistaken, I think it was called Navi 41. But yeah, we'll see how this goes. Again, the same information still maintains, at least for the moment, in terms of specs, which is the Navi 48 XTX kind of a thing here, might be aiming for a 4080-ish rasterization performance, and then try to trade blows in terms of ray tracing with the kind of similar performance with the 4070 Ti Super, if not mistaken. If it is so, if it is really that, again, it will be excellent news. and the fact that supposedly all the information that we've been having regarding pricing, I think around between 400 and $600, give or take, depending what they're trying to aim for. It will be a huge blow on the competition, specifically regarding Nvidia, mainly because of the fact that the ray tracing performance will supposedly be on par with the 4070 Ti Super, which is interesting. And given that the ceiling on terms of pricing is way lower than the 4070 Ti, but depends on how the market goes, if the current GPU pricing lowers a little bit more or not. And again, when this RDNA 4 will come out, we suspect that it might be announced CES next year or something like that. I don't know. It's been a while since any kind of new GPUs have been launched, at least in the higher end spectrum. Hopefully, I don't know. Maybe we can get some news before, in terms of at least teasing out something from AMD, so you have a better sense of what things might turn out to be. But yeah, at least this is what we got here. We got now this data mining from Navi 44 XL. And again, given that at this time point, if this is like shipping manifestos for Airbus, we might see something out of this in a couple of weeks, like some rumors or leaks coming from the Airbus themselves in terms of like performance targets there. But yeah, we have to wait and see for more news about that. In other news, we got here Hideaki Itsuno. He just jumped ship from Capcom. I think it was amicable. Now, I don't think there is a lot of drama, even though it was kind of out of nowhere. He announced it on X, and yeah, he will leave Capcom after more than 30 years within the company. He was basically the director of Dragon's Dogma, Dragon Dogma 1 and 2, and Devil May Cry franchise, basically, which is, again, I don't know if it has anything to do with Dragon Dogma sales, even though the reception was okayish. It has its issues, the game, but in terms of sales, I think it did manage to reach around the expectations, from what I understand, in terms of sales. So I don't think it might have something to do with this, but again, we never know. And again, staying 31 years in the same company, when you have like a creative role, might be a lot. We got similar situation, for example, with Kojima-san and other people that we've been seeing a lot here. I don't know if it is they're reaching like around 20 to 30 years in house of a huge company. Given that the companies in this case usually tend to get a little bit corporate, so I think they stifle a little bit the the creative juices of the directors there, and the fact that maybe they wanted to work on kind of other projects, but given the corporate structure, there is no incentive of investing on those dream projects, let's say. And they feel they need to get out of the company, given that they are kind of well established creative directors. In this case of Hideaki Itsuno, and even like Hideo Kojima, he was able to get out of, again, even though it's kind of a little bit different, the way things went uh, with him and Konami, but he managed to get around, found a new studio and launch a new game, Death Stranding. Now he has a lot of projects in the pipeline with Death Stranding 2. We got the other horror game. I completely forgot the name of that. And then we might get some announcements, because we got that teaser from what is now the CEO or the co-CEO from Sony Entertainment, something with a tactical action espionage game that was teased a few months ago. I think it was on the Game Awards, if not mistaken. By the end of the Game Awards, I'm not sure. I see so many these kind of award shows that I get a little bit confused. But yeah, regardless, he will continue to work on games. At least that is message. hopefully, if it's not going to enter in a new studio or something like that, in a new studio for him, maybe can create his own studio for him to start working on his own project. Again, this comes also by the fact that you reach to a point that you think you have a good idea for a project. You are, I don't know, 30 years on, starting with 20 years, around 50 years. I think you have a good idea what you want to achieve there. And I think also, I think it's also a little bit the corporate structure of these companies. It stifles a little bit, given that they are very aligned with profit motive. And I think, given the recent comments since the Dragon's Dogma 2 announcements here, I think you might want to go about in that direction there. Given, I assume he didn't have the enough time, let's say, to probably fine tune um, what he want to do with Dragon's Dogma 2, because it seems like a more like a remake of Dragon's Dogma 1 from the videos that I've been seeing. But yeah, or maybe you just want to go direction more like in line with Devil May Cry there. But yeah, hopefully we'll get news relatively soon. Again, this process usually takes some time until he finds a new place to work, or if he managed to get around and create a new studio for him to do his creative projects there. But yeah, uh, all the best. And I think he will. I think the studio itself from Dragon's Dogma will continue to provide support to the game. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see how that works out. Also, we got also Baldur's Gate free update. I think this was announced or announced. We already know this was incoming, but Sven Winkel also reminded everybody on PAX, which wrapped up yesterday or is going to wrap up today. I'm not sure. Yeah, it's coming this week. Yep, seven number. Sorry, update number 7. That's what I want to tell. And it's going to introduce official mod support now. Even though, again, mods usually tend to have unofficial support in most games. But now it's going to have the introduction of a mod support, and this will also extend for consoles. But again, given that the nature of modding tools, usually it's more easy to introduce and tweak around with PC. I think it will serve as a baseline, and then trying to introduce that mod support into consoles, taking into account the experience that they have with PC. I think that's the goal. I'm not sure. He was very adamant on really wanting to this to be also on the console version. But yeah, it's going to be a little bit tricky um, to do so. Especially, I think Baldur's Gate. I'm not sure. No, Baldur's Gate is also on Xbox. I don't know how well can some of these mods behave on Xbox Series S. I think it's the weaker version. But yeah, hopefully they can manage to go around. And again, mods are always awesome because usually you see a lot of creativity and a lot of influence and some uh, creative diversity in usually how the game is supported for mods. You see a lot of different views of what people envision for the game, and they introduce mods for that. It's always good to see. And also, this update is going to include the most wishlisted things regarding cinematics of evil endings for every origin character, and more in-game content. Again, I never played the game, so I'm a little bit off the loop, a little bit there. Even though people seem to be complaining with these detailed cinematics and the attention given to those cinematics to particular characters, but again, I'm not sure why this drama is happening here, because again, I never played the game, so I'm not so in line with the lore and the characters there. But yeah, some drama I think happened there. But yeah, we still need to wait to see exactly all the change logs or the notes regarding this update. But yeah, the main staples are mod support, official mod support, and more, at least more cinematics and evil endings for every origin character. But yeah, we have to wait and see how that will go. Continuing with some updates and such, we got August Legacy Director's Cut may be in upcoming. We've been seeing some changes specifically on PC regarding Steam DB files there, which might point to the Director's Cut version coming out. Supposedly, I don't think there is any kind of official announcements regarding the Director's Cut. I think it's been talked about here and there, but nothing official. And people are expecting this to arrive next year. But yeah, we never know because of them. Usually, this tends to come out relatively um, right before any kind of announcements, this kind of changes in the Steam DB files there. But again, we'll have to wait and see. Again, I think this is only images, I don't know, from thumbnails or something like that. Hopefully, we might get a better sense if there are some changes on the game files. We don't know. But yeah, hopefully, we might get a little bit more details on this if because these changes were done like 4 or 5 years, 4 or 5 days ago, around August 28th. But it basically at this moment in time only new logos. So again, until we get some changes in the game files or added DLC kind of files there, usually it's like extra content that it's added to the base game of the game, it's game files itself. We'll have to wait and see. Yeah, I got a note here. It's not officially confirmed the director's cut there. But similarly, another Harry Potter game was the Quidditch Champion will be the next game. Again, I don't care about much this game, but I think it's something that people, if you like Quidditch or very aficionado in this sport on Harry Potter, there will be an upcoming thing there, and it will be for free for all PlayStation Plus subscribers. It is what it is. And then lastly, just to touch up here on Concord, Steam sales might have been less than we thought. Yeah, probably on Steam may have sold around 10,000 copies maximum. Best estimates here on the higher end. And in total, taking into account with the PlayStation, we might only saw around 25,000 copies sold, which is not good. And as an estimate, around 10,000 copies on Steam might have range in terms of revenue around $500,000, depending on the game of the version. So between 400k and 600k in terms of revenue. So then we got the we need to take into account the Steam cut there. But yeah, it's not it did not sell very good. So around people estimate around 1 million in terms one and a half probably depending on the units on PlayStation, around 1 million and a half maybe in terms of revenue. Yeah, this is not good. Again, it will not serve as a lesson. Usually, these companies tend to not take a hint regarding this. Again, a game that took 8 years in the making, plus around at least estimates between 100 to 150 million dollars in terms of development costs. Funny enough, 8 years in development. Basically, they started to develop this game when Overwatch 1 came out. That's why it seems like a very copy paste feel regarding this, with the different skin in terms of visuals and all the modern audience targeting for the characters there. Again, the presentation seems pretty okayish in terms of visual fidelity. The art style is Overwatchy in terms of gameplay. I think the mechanics are solid, but again, are solid to comparative to Overwatch one, from what I understand. So, and you got the $40, at least the $40 entry point there, while Overwatch and a similar competition in terms of these kind of games is for free, and then they monetize it through skins and the such there. Yeah, it's a rough entry point. There are some speculations that Concord will be eventually free to play, at least for PSN Plus subscribers. which is going to get a lot of backlash for people that already bought the game, at least for PlayStation. And on Steam, I don't know what they're going to do. I think they will have to at least start doing sales, like put it at least half, 50% off at least, or else they're not going to get any kind of players here for people that the modern audience they are expecting to get. And even at this point in time, with the concurrent players on Steam, that there seems to be people are having a lot of issues trying to get in the game. People that want to play the game, so to a certain extent, this is you reap what you sow, and Concord is one of the latest examples of massive failures on trying to chase trends instead of make the trend itself there. But yeah, it's a shit show of a game overall, of with taking into account all the variants there. It's not a good game overall. But yeah, again, this is a game that it's not also made for me. So whatever. It's a shame. Again, 8 years. I assume all the people that work there on the game really like the game and are really proud of what they did. But again, it's in a market when you try to sell a product to a customer base, you have to cater to that customer base and not to the customer that you want to have. And usually when you try to do a product that tries to cater to the clients that you wanted to have, usually it's a failed product by itself, by definition, before they even start to get in the market there. But yeah, that's my 2 cents on that. In terms of gaming deals, we still have free games for Epic Games Store. We got the Fallout Classic Collection, which is the original Fallout, Fallout 2, and Fallout Tactics. Isometric, turn-based, so no Fallout free or any kind of that. It's DOG versions, from what I understand, and it's a couple of more days for free. And then the next ones, I don't see. Football Managers, not for me, and Sniper Ghost Warrior Contracts. I don't even. I assume it's one of those sniper games, so not for me also. On Steam, we got Hogwarts Legacy. It's 70% off, which is an excellent price. Also, the digital deluxe edition is also at the same kind of discount, 70% off. We got also Red Dead Redemption 2, 60% on the base game and 65% on the Ultimate Edition. We got the Outer Worlds, 50% on the base edition. Then we got, I think it's the better bundle if you want to go for it, which is the non-mandatory corporate sponsor bundle. I think it's the better one because the Spacer's Choice Edition has the upgraded visuals, but I think it gets drags a lot on the PC machines there, on the hardware. I don't know if they're already optimized that. But yeah, the game itself seems pretty good, and I think the non-mandatory corporate, it's got the playable DLC. I think it's the better version for now. We got also Planet of Lana, 45% off. We got also The Long Dark. The most complete version is the Quiet Apocalypse bundle, I think. It's got all the stuff there, even including the music there. But this one, the survival edition, only has the survival mode. But the Long Dark here, it's a better. Got the survival edition Wintermore story mode, and then the Apocalypse as this one, Tales of the Far Territory, which I think it's an extra DLC, and then we got the soundtrack there. And lastly, we got the Invincible, 40% off. I think it's a very good game. It's narrative driven. I think it plays kind of similar in terms of the mechanics as Firewatch. Yeah, it's based on the book of Stanislav Lu. Yeah, Stanislav Lu Lem. Sorry, it's a sci-fi book. It's got again very positive reviews all over the place. On GOG, we got Plague Tale Innocence, 80% off. Plague Tale Requiem, 60% off. And then we got also Battletech Mercenary Edition. This is the most completed version, if not mistaken. Yeah. sorry, 76% off. Again, turn-based mecha game. Again, isometric view. I think this is a good game. From at least from the footage that I saw, seems pretty good, and it's got good reviews. Even on Steam, it's got good positive feedback. Then you got Deus Ex: Human Revolution Director's Cut, 80%, 85% off. Then you got Mankind Divided Digital Deluxe Edition, 85% off. Also, this includes all the playable DLC, so I think it's a good price there. And then lastly, we got No Man's Sky, again 60% off. A lot of content there. They already did the, I think it's Worlds Part One, or New Worlds Part One. I don't remember the exact naming there. Again, plus all the 20 content deliveries that already did. Everything is for free. It's part of the base game. So I think this is a completely different game and a much better game than it was at launch. That's the consensus on everybody there. And you got a lot of game to play here if you want to try to explore everything there. So that's it here. I'm just going to wrap up for today with a plug on my Patreon for extra support. This extra support at this moment in time is trying to get around and get a better storage solution for me to be able to get backups of stuff that I do for my clients, and of course some extra storage for the videos that I do for the channel. And with all that said, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next one. So until then, Kunamy Master out.